Good morning, you beautiful people of the world. Hope your five senses work. You're doing good. What's good? What's good? Xbox Nation, squad, geeks, freaks, Xbox world. What's up with it? Let's talk Xbox here. See, I only focus on Linux, Windows, and Xbox, and that's it. That's all I do. But anyway, let's do this. Because that's all I play right now. Straight Xbox. All I play is Xbox, and that's it. Nothing else. Okay. Anyway, let's do this. So we talking Phil Spencer here. Phil Spencer. We got some news to report about him. Mr. Spencer. Anyway, let's do this. Says here, Xbox boss Phil Spencer says console shortage will continue into 2022. This is on Games Radar, by the way. Says here, Spencer says there are several pinch points keeping Xbox Series X and S consoles away from store shelves. Says here, Xbox Phil Spencer now says to expect the Series X and /S console shortage to continue through the rest of 2021 into 2022. In an interview with the Wrap, thanks to VGC, Spencer says it isn't just one global chip shortage that makes it harder to keep retailer stocks with enough Xbox Series X and S consoles to keep up with the demands. I think it's probably too isolated to talk about. It's just a chip problem. Spencer says, when I think about it, what does it mean to get the parts necessary to build a console today and then get it to the market where the demands is? There are multiple kinds of pinch points in that process, and I think regretfully it's going to be with us for months and months, definitely through the end of this calendar year and into the next calendar year. So if you got an Xbox One, you're good. Smart delivery. Anyway, since the dawn of the pandemic, chip shortage have bottleneck productions across a few global industries, but in the gaming sector specifically, the issue has created a supply dearth affecting GPU and consoles. Bloomberg report today that the chip supply shortage is what caused Nintendo to release the Switch OLED instead of a 4K capable Switch Pro. And says here, the thing that most disappointing is just the fans' disappointment. Spencer continues, people really want this new generation of consoles. They're good consoles, both from us and other platform holders, and they want the new functionality. We're working hard to bring them to market, but it's going to be a challenge that we will work through for quite a while. And that is the end of the article. Article is written here by Jordan Gerblick. Anyway, so according to Spencer here, the chip shortage is going to continue. Console shortage is going to continue. But on the good side, there's smart delivery. So if you got an Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X, you're good. So that takes the pressure off you, so you don't have to worry about trying to get a Series S and X right now. And that gives you more time too to save up some more money to maybe upgrade your TV and stuff like that. Get a bigger drive with your Series X when the time comes. So the pandemic, to me, people are benefiting from the pandemic. People are really benefiting from the pandemic because it gives developers more time to work, give developers a break, and then it gives developers time to even hone their skills into game development. Because the developers themselves, they got their families to worry about, so it gives them a break and they can work on their games. So the pandemic is not as bad as people want to make it out to be. It's not as bad as people want to make it out to be. The thing is with the pandemic, you got to change your ways. You got to use the pandemic to change your way of life, your way of living, your thought process, and the way you deal with people. So if you're not making any changes, when the pandemic happens, and the pandemic happens, and then the pandemic is over, and you're still the same person before the pandemic started, then you haven't grown. So with this chip shortage, it's an advantage and disadvantage. It gives the developers a break, and to think about new ways to improve games. It's not as bad as people make it out to be, because it's a good thing that Phil Spencer with the entire Xbox gaming division and Microsoft created an infrastructure from the Xbox 360 through the Xbox One series. So when the pandemic happens, they're not really affected by it, and it was an excellent move when he came up with the smart delivery. And I wonder how many people who were laughing then when he talked about it, and who are like regret that they even said anything, because now they see the benefits of it. So this pandemic is not as bad as people make it out to be. We lost some people. A few people died. Because maybe they took the pandemic for granted and didn't take it seriously. And didn't take the warning seriously. But the pandemic serves as a time for change in the game industry and in the world, period. So, and for people and individuals too. So far as chip shortage go, this is just temporary. We just gotta weather the storm. That's all we can do far as the chip shortage go, and then go from there. But other than that, man, if you got an Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X, you're good. If you got an Xbox Series X right now or S, okay, you're good. So this pandemic is not as bad. It's just giving. It's companies. I think the game industry as a whole need to use the pandemic to their advantage. That means they have to make changes from within their place of work and infrastructure that they're working. They need to use it to their advantage. But as far as chip shortage go, it will be over. It's only temporarily. It's not as bad as it looks. Now if 100 million people die from the pandemic, now we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? Now we got a problem. But for right now, we just follow the guidelines for the pandemic, and I think we'll be fine. But for individuals, I think people need to use a pandemic and make changes within themselves, their lives, and how they were, knowing that they can't go back to their old self when the pandemic start. Even before it, can't go back to that type of life, and then go from there. But this chip shortage, it's only temporary. These companies sitting on billions of dollars. No big deal. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Bored, dark side. I'm gone. Peace. Uh-oh. My mouse. Uh-oh. Oh, my mouse went out on me. My little mouse. Come back here. My mouse. How dare you? There you go. Now we got him.